is. All right, I'd like to call to order this planning and zoning meeting on March 14th, 2023. Can I get a roll call?
Commissioner Mormon,
Here.
Ritchie, here. Harris,
Here.
Hartman, here. Kriegel, Ray,
Here.
Goldwich,
Here.
Stecker, Ormsby.
Here.
All right, so the first item on the agenda would be agenda item 3A, approval of the agenda for the meeting. Someone like to make a motion?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, item 4A would be minutes approval for the February 28th meeting. Can I get a motion for that?
Jen. Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, item 5 would be any public comment. This would be for anything that is not an agenda item that you have a question or concern about. Do I have anyone in the audience for that? All right, so we'll move on to item 6A, which is consider waiving the right to review of a plat of survey for Chad Daniels for a property located within 2 miles of the city of Indianola.
So this is a plat of survey request that would result in multiple parcels being parceled out of a property. This property is located outside of the city of Indianola priority annexation area. So we are recommending waiving the right to review for this. So.
Any questions or comments from commission? Do I have anyone in the audience that has any questions or comments on this item? If you want to step up to the podium and just state your name and address.
Mark Brummers, my name 7740 Larrabee. So my first question is, what does waiving your right to review?
Yeah, so since it's located outside of the city limits, but it's within 2 miles, the state has given cities authority outside of their jurisdiction to review subdivision plats. What we have been doing honestly for the last year now is only reviewing any subdivision or splits that are taking place that are within our priority growth areas. If they fall outside of our priority growth areas, we, the city, are recommending that we waive our right to review. Then Warren County, as a governmental organization, still has to also review and approve those plats. So it would essentially waive our review authority to them and let the county decide what they want background.
So if I could speak then for a few minutes.
Sure.
So I live on ground directly south of the fence line on this. And I own land west and south. And so when I'm also participating in the works around in the revamping of the land use plan in Warren County. And so when I continue to watch things that are going on in our county relative to the land use plan, that's old, right? But a lot of what it talks about in regards to the balance that people are looking for when they live, work, raise their families in Warren County. A lot of those things, I think, when we get done with this work, are still going to be high on the priority list of why people want to live here. And so what I see going on, though, is, you know, a real haphazard application of the mindset embodied in that land use plan. I could talk a lot about it, but we just got done taking some prime development land out of production on Scotch Ridge Road, also outside of Carlisle's 2 mile area. No sewer, no water, rural water, no sewer. Land that exceeds the allowable corn suitability rating that is suggested by the plan for conserving. And so it goes through the process at the county level and then at the city level in Carlisle, and it gets approved in part by our county supervisors. So through that process, it became apparent to me that their knowledge and application of the land use plan was minimal, if frankly non-existent. And so when I look at this request, and a lot of other requests, I get concerned about what we're really doing to our county. The past 3 months, my neighbors put in an airstrip. He flies his plane to work, so that's okay. When he lands and takes off, he's gonna land and take off right over, I live to the west and the strips north and south. So he's gonna land and take off right across the road, right across the power line and right across my neighbor's field. Okay. Another neighbor called in January and said, well, he didn't actually call. He went to Warren County zoning and said, hey, I want to build the 5th house on 40 acres. And you know, I want to participate in the land grab that's going on, right? And so he goes through the process. He's got a number of things that, you know, don't meet the qualifications to do that, but nonetheless, I go down and we talk, and he then offers, you know, well, since I'm going to sell you my backyard, I want to sell you my 10-acre backyard because I own the land on the other 3 sides. And, okay, well, what do you want for it? 15 grand an acre. Okay, so the balance, he's a nice guy and all that stuff, but he doesn't build any fence. If you look at this thing you're talking about, my fence line that I've shared with a guy since 2001 that never pounded a post in the entire length of fence. Now I'm going to share that fence line. If this were to be approved, I'm going to share it with 4 people. And Iowa fence law says the first segment of the first quarter is mine. The first segment of the second quarter is mine. First segment of the third quarter is mine. First segment of the fourth quarter is mine. So it's not like I built half and they build half. It's I build half of a half of a half of a half. And the truth is, they're not going to do it. They're, you know, they're not. They don't know how. They're not going to pay for it, and they're not. And so, what's happening is farm crowd can't compete. I can't compete. We can't compete with the 2-acre lot for 125,000. And that's what's for sale on Scotch Ridge. And so what happens, I already said this, but I'll say it one more time, is you get that dilution effect of why I think a lot of people came here in the first place. So I'm gonna wrap up. So also from where this proposal is, and I appreciate the fact that you guys want to pass this, rather than vote on it or whatever your parameter is, but so nonetheless, you got a cow-calf confinement building a quarter mile north where this fence line is. You got me to the south. I own ground up against 13 homes. 13 homes. I spray chemicals. I make noise. I have semis. I have machinery. You know, meeting people on the Warren County Road today with your machinery is scary for me. You don't even know it's scary for them. I'm going to win. I know it. They don't get it. They just don't. And so the point just is, as we continue to push people together, then there are consequences that are going to continue to come out of that. And so that's where I think reverting back to that land use plan and really thinking about how it's trying to steer development and steer these decisions and then applying them, I think makes a lot of sense. Because the way it is right now, the zoning folks are deciding who sells $5 corn and who sells $125,000 lots. Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Can I ask you one question?
Sure.
Can the fence viewers force your neighbors to build fences if you build yours?
So the book says that they do have that's how that works, yes.
So do they, if they choose to do that, do they just add it to their taxes or? So that is a solution, to call fence viewers and ask them to enforce the law that is in place to force those neighbors to build their half.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
I don't know if the fence viewers exist anymore, but that's what the book says. I go out and what we do right with the guy that wants me to sell me his backyard, build a fence for his goats. But the perimeter fence he didn't build and I want to use it 2 months in the fall for cattle. And so I just go pound in my electric fence and do the deal and then take it out and you know, we do try to be good neighbors, you know, and you know, I mean, economics are economics. We still try to, you know, we still are good people and good neighbors.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for sharing, you know, again, I would just say not to keep making you do the up and down thing and be real awkward about it, but you know, this is something that we typically don't review this far outside of our purvey. It's just something we're not very versed in, right? Like I can read a future land use map as well as most, but you know, I still don't feel like this is something, even after hearing what you've shared, I appreciate what you shared, that is probably something that I should be in a position to be commenting on, but I certainly understand what you're saying and I get it. And I would just encourage you that, you know, if in fact, as we go here, we do say, all right, like that is exactly what the county needs to be hearing and it should be there. Well, that's what they're supposed to be there for, right? To make good decisions about this stuff. And I would always encourage anybody that's within city limits, within our 2 mile range in areas that we're actively trying to grow and have good information on to give speeches like yours. I mean, that was very well thought out. And so that's why I just wanted to say thank you and probably can't, well, I just personally can't do a whole lot for you, but I appreciate your position and hope that you share it on and someone listens.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep, come on up. State your name and address, please.
Tom Gideon. I guess my address would be 2955 90th Avenue. Just to the north of this fence line if you guys approve it or county approves it. So I guess I would just say thanks. It's been a long summer and fall. Looking forward to the so I do agree with what he just said though, like the only way we were able to make this happen is you had to get 4 families to come together and split 40 acres. Nice. You get an acre for $100,000, which is ridiculous. So I do agree with that. But I guess the last thing I'll say is look forward to building a fence with you.
Thank you. Do you have any other questions or comments? Anything else from the commission? Would anybody like to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve a resolution waiving our city subdivision review authority.
This is Misty Soldwish. I'll second that.
Can we get a roll call vote?
Boardman? Yes. Goldwich?
Yes.
Ritchie? Yes. Ormsby?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Mormon?
Oh, yes, sorry.
And Ray.
Yes.
Okay. On to our next item, which would just be current projects.
Just a few things to update the commission on. Your next meeting, I think the deadline's passed on that. I'm still trying to get used to this 2 meetings and it's not.
It's, the deadline is the 20th, so it's
Okay, so we'll see what's on there. Right now, I think we have two things that are on there. We're in the process. Council did direct the planning, or I should say, ask the Planning and Zoning Commission to review an ordinance on commercial vehicle parking, essentially in residential areas. So that is something that we are currently working on at the staff level. We've got something drafted, kind of reviewing it internally. And our intention would be to bring that to the commission at your next meeting. And I think we also have a split of ground inside city limits, so a little bit unique as the last few that you've done. That'll be on there too. And then anything else, we do have a site plan application on file right now for another commercial use just north of where that Champion Express car wash is going on that piece of ground by Pizza Ranch over there. So we're in the process of reviewing that one internally right now and hope to get that on your next agenda. I think it's maybe a little bit far-fetched to think that would be on your next agenda, but maybe sometime in April would be a hopeful goal. And I know, again, we're working with a few other commercial businesses. I know they're looking at coming into town right now, and a few of them that have options on ground currently that they're kind of working through the engineering standpoint right now. So, and then subdivision wise, I don't think there's anything sitting out there right now. We're working through a few that we're in construction documents on right now, and I think there's 2 or 3 that should be developing this year. So hopefully we get a few more preliminary plots in, but we'll see. I know the housing market's kind of slowed down a little bit, but through all that. So any questions on any of that, I'd be happy to answer it.
Since I've been gone, where is the city council on the village request?
That's all been, the PUD's been approved. Yeah, I think we were at third consideration at the last council meeting. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but it's gone through at least 2. So I think all the rezoning requests that we had, Missouri Valley's PUD, that PUD, the Warren County Historical Society, those have all been passed, I know. So,
Thank you.
so yeah, we should, we've been working with the engineer on, was it Life 2? I would expect some documents be coming forward on those ones here, probably in the next couple of months as well too, both that and Missouri Valley. Did I miss anything?
All right. Would anybody like to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Can I get a second?
Sure.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye all.
Thank you.